Yeah, I believe that's what she was fixing to tell us.
Tell when we was in the covered wagon.
Yeah.
Going across the mountains.
Yeah.
Across the covered wagon.
Yeah,
You hear that, Jennifer?
Well, two mules pulling us, you know. Covered wagon with a big cover over it. We go across the mountains.
How old were you, Granny?
I guess I must have been about 9, 10
Were
years
y'all
old.
moving? Where were you moving
Well, when
from?
we moved to North Carolina, we moved to South Carolina.
Whereabouts in North Carolina?
Well, Brevard,
Oh.
around the river.
She likes that area up in there. It is
Yeah,
pretty.
it
We were up
is,
there
it
once.
is.
We went by there, went to the church, or this is cemetery where so many of our relatives buried at.
We took you. Oh, yeah, all up through there. Don't you remember us taking you there and seeing all the
That
mirrors?
little river,
And Paul said
My
that
granddaddy's buried there.
there's a lot of mirrors there in
My
the
grandmother.
church.
Churches, different churches.
Little river.
Little River.
Little River Baptist Church down there in Brevard. And my granddaddy, on my mother's side, Grandpa Beck, he's buried at Enum Baptist Church up there.
I vaguely remember going there.
We took her to 2 or 3 different places where some of her
Grandpa's got a
relatives.
real pretty marker up to his grave now. They finally put a marker up to his grave. It's nice. That's Enum Baptist Church. It's not very far from where they used to live. Okay. We went around over that way. You remember us going over that way where it was at? I said that was where my granddad's house was. They put it at the house, I guess it's
Oh,
still
yeah,
in.
and we took you
And
around
they
to a few places.
put a trailer there, had a trailer there when we was up there. They
She
survived.
recognized a couple of places up
Yeah,
there.
apples out there where there used to be a big old walnut tree out there. And the walnuts were so large off of that tree. I can remember going out there picking them up.
What'd you do, Green, before y'all had electricity?
Huh?
What'd you do before y'all had electricity?
Air conditioning. That was a long
Air
time.
conditioning, it didn't bother us at all because.
Just weren't spoiled yet.
We weren't spoiled,
Yeah,
people had probably more trees
Yeah,
and not as much
yeah,
cement
so-
around.
That's
You know?
right. Before we had electricity, why you did what
You
you
used to
wore
have
big old
yards.
black stockings, long stockings, come way up here, and now old rib things, and they burn me up. Think about it now.
What'd you do? How'd you keep your vegetables and everything cool? Big old block of ice?
Our vegetables.
Probably just used them when you got them out of the garden.
You just picked enough from one day and you'd use them.
You'd eat them that day.
We can.
How would you carry over to the next year?
We can. We
You
can.
canned them.
Yeah.
That's when you know so much about
Canned
canning and preserving.
and then beans, dry beans, of course, we had dry beans.
That door's a popular place, isn't it?
You dry the beans and everything?
We dry, pick beans like you pick cotton with a sack on out of the field, and then you shell them, you see.
And then lay them out.
And let them lay out in the sun till they get, and then you just take a stick and beat the sack, and then you go through them and you get the dry beans out, you see. And they was mixed up, but they were good. Mother cooked beans practically every day. Also, we had cabbage and all that kind of stuff.
That's a good substance.
Oh, yeah.
No, beans, that's
saying we need to be
protein.
eating
That's
now.
That's right,
protein.
they say we need to eat a lot more stuff nowadays.
Too many people eat them anymore.
Dried stuff, how they used to do.
I know it.
I can remember those sackfuls of peas or beans, they get them dry, and then they sort of beat some of that out, and then you have all your hulls and everything, and then you have your beans and peas, pick it out and do what you want. She's scared, so we gonna put her right. I remember some of that.
Billy, if they have to do a little bit of work now, they don't want to do nothing. They want everything handed out to them on the platter.
That's right. From the very beginning.
Exactly right.
All these boys, they know how rough it used to be.
Because these children, the parents were working, making money, and they turn around and give it every dime that they want, and that's the worst thing in the world they could ever do.
Yeah.
You see, they can get out and work for it.
That's right.
You can find
That's the
some work
reason
to
I'm
do.
hanging around now, I guess, because I've had to work hard for every dime I've ever got hold of. Till I got old and then people give me the money. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, you had some money
That's what
given
you
to you
do.
like that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Granny, what y'all do about your meat and stuff? Did y'all have cows or pigs
Oh,
or?
we had to raise we'd have, raised
I probably
pork,
would
you
have been
know.
vegetarian if I lived like that though.
You think?
No, you'd have,
I guess you'd get used
You,
to that
you
too.
get used
Well,
to it. You get used
men
to
You
it.
know, where
did
they
that.
butchered the animals
Oh,
right there and
well,
stuff.
you don't,
The men folks did most of
enjoy that. When the wintertime comes, you go and, you know.
You enjoy it.
You enjoy big, sausage, we'd grind and have a great
That's what you raise the
great
animals
big
for.
pile of sausage, and you know how you
If I think
kept,
much about it though, I don't.
you kept your sausage, but if you got hungry and you had to work
Well,
like I
you would,
worked,
you'd eat it.
you'd eat it.
Yeah, that's right.
Get it.
That beef
I
and
tell
that
you, we
hog.
Where'd you get the
sausage and put it in a pan, a great big wide pan, biscuit pan like. And you put it in the oven, and you let your sausage cook slowly till they was just lightly brown. Then you take your fruit jar, have it hot, sterilized. Then you put your sausage, we usually put have pints, and fill it full of sausage. And then you, full of sausage, and then you take your grease and get a cup and spoon and put it about half full of grease. Then when you seal it up, you turn it bottom side up, put the cap down on the table. And then when it got cold, you see that grease.
This would be the seal.
At the top. So
That'd be your seal.
that makes a good breakfast or two.
Mm-hmm.
Makes ways of preserving it, you see, and then of course your meat such as hams and shoulders and things like that, they were salted down in a box of salt on, you know, keep it cured. And the hams is hung up, you see. And
Did you make soap out of your
oh
lard?
Lord, yeah, that's where we have.
How do
our
you do
soap.
that? You just cook
Well,
it
you
or
take
something?
your old meat that gets old and skins and put lye. What you do, you take your ashes where you make fire. And
Yeah,
fire.
those
In the
ashes, yeah.
wintertime, mother would get in the fireplace. Whenever you get a lot of ashes in there, then she'd take water and throw on the fire, on the ashes to see there wasn't no fire, and then keep it turning over with the shovel. So she got it out, and then we'd carry it out and put it in a barrel,
Yeah.
have a barrel, and straw down in the bottom of the old barrel. And you put those ashes on there till you got the barrel nearly full of ashes, then you have a little place fixed back down like that, you know. And then you start to carry water and putting water in there, and of course you've got to have a big container underneath to catch that little spout like to come out, you know, fix it. And then have to call that lye.
Go to study and go
And
to
it's
bed.
like yellow looking. And it comes out and and you put that in your wash pot and you put your meat skins and your old meat stuff in there and it eats it up. And when you boil it, it eats all of that stuff up. And it makes soap.
That's what people used to use a lot of.
Yeah, it makes soap. I
Not to put on your
I
face.
can buy this lye and use it and eat up your meat skins and things. But we always just saved the ashes and made it like that. You had to make everything practically you had. Because see, when my mother come along, they didn't have no clothes that they'd spin yarn, you know. I got some cards at the house now that you take cotton, you spin it like the wool, you know, and you fix it, and then she had these wheels, spinning wheels, and she spin it, make the thread, and then they had these weavers, they weave the
At that folk art center over there in Asheville, they showed a little bit of that weaving.
They make the material.
Wool and stuff, you know.
And my granddaddy was a preacher. He was a Baptist minister, and they didn't pay him no salary. He didn't get no salary.
They supply them though with this house and food though, right? House and food, is that how they paid the ministers
No, they
back
didn't give
then?
him nothing except they'd make him a suit maybe once a year, and it had to be made by hand because they had no sewing machines.
What about the food? Didn't they supply and give them
Had to make
food? The
the-
people, didn't the
the
people
what?
get, if he was a minister, didn't the people he preached to give him food and stuff?
No,
Oh.
they didn't give him no food.
Oh, they didn't way back then?
Not then,
I think as time went on,
Time went on.
Yeah, paid them due.
Time went on, they'd give him some food sometimes. But They spin that to make that material, make the wool, and then they make you suits and did all that work with their hands. But
Yeah, did all that with their hands, huh?
did all the work with their hands.
When y'all moved, how old were you when you moved to Pickens? What, you like, what, 9 or 10, you say?
I was 12 years old.
12 years old. And then your daddy had what, a fruit farm? Fruit farm, didn't you? We grow
Yeah,
fruit trees
yeah.
and what was
Yeah,
the
we
name
made
of
a big orchard up there for
Yeah,
Mac D. Bruce. Big fruit orchard.
yeah.
I went by that fall carried me by that. I've been to awful long ago. Don't look nothing like it used to. Nothing compared.
Is it just grown up?
Yes, it's grown up. And I told him to go around where we used to live at. So he kept a driving, the Bill was with me, we go around there where we used to live at, in the houses there. It looked just like almost the house that we used to live
Really? Are people
Yeah.
still living there?
Yeah, people still living there. And I told Paul, I said, Paul, stop right here. A woman come out on the porch, and I told her, I said, you know, I says, I think I used to live here years and years ago. And when I asked her, I said, was spring down below there? And she said, yes, there's spring down below there. And I said, yes, this is where I live.
Or did you get to go through the house?
I didn't go through the house because the house, it had been built. Yeah, another house been built there. And I think that one really had been burnt down or something.
Same spot.
Same spot, but it built back a little further from the road. But where we used to have a field up above the house was grown up in trees that big around. And you see, it doesn't look like it.
The woods just took it over. It
Whenever
was
I
a
walked and
field.
went to the church, I used to go up that
You
road
got your pocketbook?
and go up to the church up through there. They building houses all up through there.
And that used to be what, the church?
Yeah,
A
the church,
field?
they done moved the church.
Yeah.
The church moved it way back from my older sister buried there. And we finally found her grave. I enjoyed going through that way. Everything looked so funny. And then where I used to have rabbit boxes and set rabbit boxes, catch rabbits, it's covered up in water. Just a big
What
lake.
would they do? Make a pond or something? They built
this
a dam.
Big lake down. I said, good Lord. I said,
You used to catch rabbits?
yeah, I said, pasture down there, old cow pasture, Wolf Creek. I said, this is where I used to sit. And so
Well, what'd you do with the rabbits? Were they pets or did you eat them?
I sold them.
You sold them? You caught rabbits and sold them?
Got rabbits and sold them.
You're kidding.
Sold them for 25 cents a piece.
You're 25 cents a piece.
I did.
Can you imagine?
I'd catch 2 and 3 every morning.
Would you really?
How old were you, Granny?
I was about 12.
Like Reed's age?
Yeah, years old. So like I enjoyed going to them. Sometimes I'd catch some size of rabbit. I caught a bush rat one, the dog, no black. I brought catch a cat sometimes. Cat go in there.
Well, how would you catch them? What would you put inside to
What
bait
you do,
them?
you just pick the gum up and set it up on the end.
Uh-huh.
Then you raise the lid and look down in there and you see the rabbit, and of course he's done turned around. He's got his head towards you. You just reach on by his head and get you by his hind legs and turn him around and bring him out. That's what
Yeah, but what made them go in there, though, Granny?
Oh, well, of course, you'd bait
You'd watch?
You'd bait it with an apple or something.
Oh, okay.
Sweet potato or something like that. But if you ever one time catch one in the gum, then they can smell the scent. And they'd go in there, and I usually, when I made
Will you get another drink help for Nick?
whenever I'd make a new gum, and I'd build my own rabbit boxes.
Uh-huh.
And then whenever I'd get me a new gum made, and I'd catch me a rabbit, I'd put it in that new gum. Let him stay in there overnight.
Oh.
So it'd give a scent, don't you see?
Oh.
Yeah, the scent of a rabbit. So that's the way that's the way I done it.
Well, how'd you and Granddaddy meet? Y'all the same church? You and
I met him
Hamilton?
Yeah, I met him at the Tabernacle.
That's at church. Is that how everybody met back then?
Huh?
Is that how everybody met back then at church, or how they?
Everybody didn't do that.
Cause you were working, weren't you? You were.
No, I wasn't
I thought you were out.
Not
Cause
then,
how old were you when you got married?
I was 27
Yeah.
years old. I was working then.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
was working in Greenville.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I was at home at the time I met him though. We went to a tractor meeting.
Met him at church. Well, did you when you first saw him, did you say I'm gonna marry that guy, or
No, I never thought about marrying him.
you didn't?
He
Granny,
ran you down, huh?
he chased you, huh?
No, he didn't really chase me. I was working, then I got a job in Greenville. And I was working in Greenville and he come up that, I seen him on the street there in Greenville one day with Scruggs, that's his boss man. And Hamilton says, that was my girlfriend. And he said, Mr. Scruggs said, she said she's a good looking woman.
Oh, why?
Says if I wasn't married, I'd be having myself.
I'd be after her.
Get to hear her. So from then on, we started going steady.
Well, how did you date back then? What do you do? Like, where do you go? Did you go to church? Is that how you dated? You dated going to?
No, we just rode around.
Rode around in what?
In a car.
No. What
We had a little, well, the Ford.
model T Ford?
And I think it belonged to him and Anderson together.
And then so what'd you do? You just go out to eat or something?
No, didn't know about going out to eat. There wasn't any things much like a restaurant. Yeah, we went home.
That's interesting.
No, I remember going to, one time I was taking a trip up North Carolina and got in a storm.
You got in a big storm. What happened? Were you in the Model T?
We just stopped and we had curtains up, you know.
Curtains in the car?
Well, that car was, had these cloth tops, you see.
Uh-huh.
And just had these sides like that. It
Uh-huh.
didn't rain in there though, but we was in a bad storm.
I can imagine. What, did he have to go ask your mom and dad, could y'all get married? Do you remember that?
No, we didn't ask my mother and dad to get married. We didn't have to do that.
Did they have big weddings back then?
No, we got married at Secona Baptist Church.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I didn't know if they had big weddings or.
Right after service, there was a bunch of people there.
Oh, really?
But they didn't, it was just more or less, you know, we went in and a friend of mine in Greenville was with us, Edith Reed. And she was with us and went in there, and so he went to, told Pastor, I can't think of his name, I know his name because I know mine. But anyway, he told us there's going to be a wedding. He spoke, said, don't nobody leave, there's going to be a wedding here.
Oh. So everybody who was at church that day, they wanted to stay.
Everybody stayed there, practically, yeah.
Well, did y'all go on a honeymoon? Did they what'd y'all do?
Yeah, went to Hendersonville.
To Hendersonville.
Yeah, I went to Hendersonville and then there I went on up to Asheville to Uncle Jack's and Aunt Zetta's and spent the night. And then back home. Well, everybody's different back then days. I reckon we done very well. But
Yeah.
they have nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. We stayed down on Grandma Julian's place. She had a house.
Now, where was that? Pickens County. When did y'all move to Newberry?
Moved to Whitmire.
Was Mom and Thomas born then when you moved to Newberry?
Louise was a baby. She was just about 4 months old when we moved to Whitmire. That was back in 20.
How's it going? Keep you busy?
Louise born in July, and that was back sometime in the fall. I think. Stayed down there. We didn't live in Whitmire too long. Moved from there to Chapels in June of 19 and 20. I reckon 28, I think it was this June 4, Louise was a year old in July.
And then that was in Whitmire. So when
Moved from
Whitmire to
Chapel.
to Chapel. Well, when did you buy that land where y'all live on now?
Lord mercy. I can't begin to tell you then.
Was Granddad always with the highway?
We moved there in 38.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it about 4 years before we rented to some people.
Was Granddad always with the highway department? Is that where was at his work in Whitmire?
Yeah, we was helping get the bridges fixed and helping get the road service. There wasn't no surface treatment then. All the roads was dirt.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't no pavement whatsoever.
Where's Kathy?
I don't know, Mom.